Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to this sacred space. Something absolutely shocking has just surfaced in the collective energy field today, and I had to bring this message directly to you. This is not your average daily reading. The guides are stepping forward with a very specific, undeniable truth. There is a younger person in your energy orbit, someone you know, someone whose presence has been lingering in the background of your life, who didn't just casually think about you today. They didn't just have a fleeting random memory of you while going about their daily routine. No, the energy is far heavier and far more deliberate than that. They actively sought out the divine. They actually went and got a tarot reading specifically about you. And let me tell you, what came through in that reading has completely shaken their reality. It wasn't a light-hearted, vague message. It wasn't something they could easily brush off or interpret in 100 different ways. It felt incredibly direct, almost aggressively clear, as if the universe itself reached down, grabbed them by the shoulders, pointed straight toward your energy, and absolutely refused to stay quiet about it. Something about you, your frequency, your aura, and your undeniable light is refusing to leave their mind. You have essentially hijacked their subconscious, and now they are desperately searching for answers in the spiritual realms, looking in places they never expected to look, because their logical mind can no longer comprehend the magnitude of what they are feeling for you. Stay with me right here, right now, because this is a timeless reading. Whether you are watching this at 2 in the afternoon or 3 in the morning months from now, if the algorithm brought you here, if your intuition clicked on this video, it is for a divine reason. You were meant to hear this validation. As always, take only what deeply resonates with your soul and leave the rest behind for someone else. But if this is your story, you are going to feel it in your bones immediately. In looking at the energy surrounding this younger person's hidden reading about you, 3 incredibly powerful destiny-shifting tarot cards came flying out. These are not cards of casual acquaintance. These are cards of profound transformation. The first energy that stepped forward to define their initial experience of you is the Hermit. This represents a deep, solitary withdrawal, a sudden pulling away from the noise of the external world, and a profound internal soul-searching that you unintentionally triggered within them. The second energy to emerge is the Eight of Wands, which marks a drastic shift from silence into overwhelming, rapid-fire momentum. It is the energy of undeniable telepathic connection, sudden urges, and a fiery restlessness that makes it physically impossible for them to sit still with their emotions. And finally, grounding all of this chaotic electricity comes the Ten of Pentacles. This is the ultimate symbol of long-term legacy, unshakable physical foundation, immense earthly value, and a love that stands the test of time. When these 3 specific frequencies merge together in a single narrative, they do not tell a small, insignificant story. They tell a story of an intense, almost overwhelming spiritual awakening disguised as a romantic pull. This is no longer just harmless curiosity on their end. This is not just a passing crush or a fleeting moment of infatuation. This is a massive energetic build-up. These are deep-rooted feelings rapidly multiplying in the dark, evolving into a connection that feels absolutely impossible to ignore, no matter how hard they might have tried to fight it. So I need you to stay grounded and listen closely, because what this younger person discovered when they looked into the spiritual truth of your connection is not something they ever saw coming. And as we peel back the layers of this dynamic, you are finally going to understand why the energy around you lately has felt so dense, so magnetically strong, so incredibly confusing, and so entirely impossible to forget. When the Hermit, the Eight of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles align in this specific sequence, the energetic signature becomes deafening. It completely bypasses the ego and speaks directly to the soul. It is no longer just one isolated feeling or one brief moment of wondering what you are up to. It becomes a full cinematic emotional saga unfolding in very distinct, powerful stages. Something that started so quietly, so hidden in the shadows of their mind, suddenly accelerated into an intense fire, and is now slowly but surely crystallizing into something that feels terrifyingly real. These 3 energies are not randomly thrown together by the universe. They paint a flawless, high-definition picture of the internal emotional journey this younger person has been violently thrust into ever since your soul crossed paths with theirs. Let us journey back to the very beginning of this energetic attachment. At the genesis of this connection, the dominant force was the energy of the Hermit. This is where everything started, but it didn't start with fireworks or loud declarations. It started in complete and utter silence. The Hermit is the card of deep introspection, isolation, and inner illumination. When you first entered their awareness, it triggered something deep within their spirit that they were completely unprepared for. You didn't just catch their eye, you disrupted their normal frequency. You confused their ego. The Hermit suggests that instead of boldly stepping forward, this younger person took a massive step back. They retreated into their own mind. They pulled away from their usual social circles, their superficial distractions, and the loud noise of their daily life, specifically so they could sit alone in the dark and process the gravity of your existence. You see, at that time, they didn't want to admit how much you impacted them. It felt too profound, maybe even a little dangerous to their carefully constructed emotional walls. They tried to analyze you logically. They tried to compartmentalize you as just another person. But the Hermit's lantern shines a light on the unavoidable truth hidden in the shadows. Your energy began to glow softly in the background of their isolation. Even when they were physically alone, they felt energetically accompanied by you. You became their midnight thought. You became the silent contemplation that kept them awake when the rest of the world was sleeping. They didn't fully understand it, but more importantly, they realized they couldn't detach from it. They couldn't just let it go. This is exactly why your energy kept haunting them. Not loudly, not dramatically, but in slow, methodical, deeply philosophical waves. They were looking at you and wondering, why does this person feel different? Why does my soul recognize them? Why do my usual games or emotional defenses fall completely flat when I look at them? The Hermit forced them to look into the mirror of their own soul, and in that mirror, they saw the reflection of your light. They spent so much time just silently observing you, putting together the puzzle pieces of who you are, completely captivated by your depth, your wisdom, and the quiet power you hold. You unknowingly sent them into a spiritual retreat within their own mind, but the Hermit's silent introspection cannot last forever. Eventually, the internal pressure builds to a breaking point, and that is exactly when the universe threw down the Eight of Wands. And my goodness, this is where the entire landscape of this connection violently shifted. The energy went from a solitary, quiet whisper in the dark to a deafening, high-speed roar of fire and momentum. The Eight of Wands is the ultimate card of rapid movement, intense telepathic communication, fiery attraction, and a restless, frantic energy that completely shatters the stillness of the Hermit. It represents a sudden influx of passion that someone can absolutely no longer suppress. When this high-voltage energy enters the reading, it means their emotions have aggressively crossed the line from passive contemplation to hyperactive obsession. They are no longer just philosophically wondering about you in the dark. They are experiencing a visceral, physical reaction to your energy. This younger person has started feeling intensely restless in their own skin. One minute they are desperately trying to distract themselves, throwing themselves into work or hobbies, trying to force their mind onto anything else. And the very next minute, a sudden, sharp wave of desire for you hits them so hard it steals the breath from their lungs. There is a violent push and pull happening inside their nervous system. They feel magnetically, almost forcefully drawn toward you, but because it is happening so fast, they feel completely out of control. The Eight of Wands does not walk, it sprints. It rushes in with adrenaline, extreme excitement, and an overwhelming amount of sudden clarity. That is precisely why their energy might feel so incredibly inconsistent or chaotic to you at times. It is not that their feelings for you are fading or disappearing. It is that the sheer volume of their feelings has become entirely too loud, too fast, and too strong for them to sit with comfortably. Their energetic circuits are practically overloading. This is the stage where passive curiosity violently transforms into active burning desire. They are no longer just wondering who you are. They are vividly hallucinating scenarios of what it would be like to finally break the silence. The Eight of Wands brings a flood of synchronicities. They are seeing your name everywhere. They are seeing your birthday on the clock. They are hearing songs that remind them of you playing in random places. The universe is bombarding them with arrows of your frequency, demanding their attention. They are agonizing over their phone, typing out messages and deleting them, imagining what would happen if they just threw caution to the wind and told you exactly how much you consume them. The mental chatter is moving at lightning speed, and even if you don't see them taking massive physical action just yet, you need to understand that in the spiritual realm, the arrows are already in flight. The momentum is already unstoppably moving in your direction. The fire has been lit, and it is burning out of control. But a connection cannot survive on fast-paced fire alone. Fire burns brightly, but it eventually needs earth to ground it. And this is where the reading reaches its most profound, breathtaking climax. After the silent soul-searching of the hermit and the chaotic, high-speed passion of the Eight of Wands, the universe lays down the Ten of Pentacles. And let me tell you, this changes absolutely everything. This is where this reading transcends a simple story of attraction and enters the realm of destiny. The Ten of Pentacles is the antithesis of fleeting impulse or short-lived fantasy. It is the ultimate manifestation of grounded reality, unbreakable stability, generational wealth, and supreme lasting value. When this card appears, it signifies the culmination of a journey, the realization that something is entirely worth investing a lifetime in. This tells me that deep down, far beneath the restless anxiety and the overwhelming fire, a massive paradigm shift has occurred within this younger person's heart. They have realized your true worth. They are no longer viewing you as just a passing thought, a temporary crush, or an exciting emotional roller coaster. They are looking at you and seeing the finish line. They are looking at you and seeing an empire. You are being recognized as something incredibly rare, something so intrinsically valuable that it actually scares them to comprehend it. The Ten of Pentacles shows that they have subconsciously begun to weigh your presence in their life against their future. They realized that a connection with you wouldn't just be a fling, it would be foundational. It would demand growth, maturity, and a level of stability they may not have previously thought they were ready for. But seeing you experiencing your grace, your independence, your sheer, chosen one energy has made them realize that you are the standard, you are the ultimate prize. You represent a reality where they feel safe, secure, deeply loved, and structurally supported. When you synthesize these three master energies, you witness a flawless evolutionary arc. First, there was the silent, transformative spiritual awakening, triggered in the isolation of the hermit. Then, there was the explosive, uncontainable surge of passion and telepathic momentum represented by the Eight of Wands. And finally, there is the deep, profound anchoring into long-term reality and undeniable worth with the Ten of Pentacles. It is a journey from the deepest inner mind, through the fiery heart, straight into the physical, tangible world. This magnificent progression is exactly why this younger person feels so intensely pulled toward you, yet simultaneously intimidated and overwhelmed. Their soul recognized your light in the darkness before their logical mind could process what was happening. Then, the universe injected rapid-fire intensity into the connection, making them agonizingly restless and entirely unsure of how to navigate the heat. And now, the dust is beginning to settle, and they are staring at the magnificent reality of who you are. They are slowly, consciously starting to understand that what they feel for you is not a temporary glitch in their matrix. It is not an illusion. It is the blueprint for something monumental. It is something that carries the profound weight of destiny. There is a massive secret hidden within the sequence of these specific cards, and it revolves around divine timing and spiritual maturation. The hermit represents the necessary past the stage where they had to sit in the dark and heal their own superficiality, just to be able to perceive your depth. The Eight of Wands is their current reality, the chaotic, fast-paced, emotionally charged present, where they are fighting a losing battle against their own desires. But the Ten of Pentacles? That is the destination. That is the future foundation. This incredibly detailed timeline proves that this connection is actively, aggressively developing behind the scenes. It has absolutely not reached its final physical form yet. The story is still being written in their energetic field. This explains why their 3D behavior might seem so baffling to you right now, why they might seem hot and cold, distant, and then suddenly intensely observant. It is because they are internally oscillating between these massive frequencies. A part of them is still hiding in the cave of the hermit, afraid of the vulnerability required to step into your light. A part of them is completely hijacked by the Eight of Wands, wanting to race toward you at 100 miles an hour and spill their soul to you. And a deeply buried, slowly awakening part of them is stepping into the maturity of the Ten of Pentacles, realizing they need to come toward you, correct, with stability and real intention, because you are not the kind of person who accepts half-hearted offers. All of this monumental energetic processing is happening inside one human body at the exact same time. It creates an unbelievable amount of internal emotional tension, It is a spiritual pressure cooker, but despite all their confusion, despite any delays or hesitations you may have witnessed in the 3D reality, the divine trajectory of this connection is crystal clear. This energy is not dissipating. It is not fading away into the ether. It is compounding. It is evolving. It is solidifying into something undeniable in their mind and in their heart. You are completely unerasable from their spirit. You are becoming a fixed point in their universe, something emotionally profound, energetically magnetic, and holding the absolute highest potential for long-term reality in their life. That is the profound overriding message the universe is delivering to you through this reading today. What started in the silent shadows of their introspection has now blossomed into a multi-layered, intensely passionate, and deeply grounded awakening. This person is undergoing a transformation purely because they encountered your frequency. The connection is still gestating, still unfolding in the unseen realms, but it has crossed the threshold. It is no longer something they can repress or ignore. It has permanently altered their energetic makeup, and it continues to expand within them in ways that are completely rewriting their understanding of love, value, and destiny. When the Ten of Pentacles cemented itself as the ultimate anchor in this reading, it served as a cosmic guarantee. The chaotic, restless fire of the Eight of Wands will eventually run out of space to just burn wildly. It must be directed somewhere. It must build something. And in this situation, the cards reveal an undeniable truth about how this younger person views your worth when all their ego and fear are stripped away. You are the culmination of their search. You are the seed of an entire future. They know that to step into your energy is to step into a higher timeline. You are not a fantasy. You are the blueprint for a legacy. This is where the paradigm entirely shifts from "what if" to "this is what I must build." They are beginning to look at their own life and wonder if they have the tools, the maturity, and the stability to offer you the Ten of Pentacles reality that you so clearly deserve. Unlike the frantic rush of the wands, pentacles slow the heart rate down and demand practical, real-world action. It makes their passion thoughtful. It forces their wild desires to become strategic and intentional. In this reading, it guarantees that regardless of their current external silence or hesitation, they hold a deep, unwavering reverence for you. They know you have immense weight, ultimate importance, and absolute sovereignty. They are unconsciously and increasingly consciously measuring what it would mean to step up to your level. They aren't just thinking about the thrill of a first date or the excitement of a late-night text. They're contemplating the reality of standing beside you in the physical world, building a life, integrating families, creating wealth, and sharing a deeply loyal foundation. The Ten of Pentacles is the card of home, and to their restless seeking soul, your energy feels exactly like the home they have been looking for but never knew existed. You are not a passing phase. You have been categorized in their spirit as someone of supreme monumental significance. This is the power of the Ten of Pentacles closing out this reading. It takes the quiet awakening of the Hermit and the fiery panic of the Eight of Wands and asks the ultimate sobering question: are you ready to make this real? And that question is exactly what this younger person is agonizing over in the best way possible right now. They are processing the weight of your worth. You have graduated from a mere thought into a destined reality in their mind, someone they absolutely refuse to lose to the passing of time. The foundation is being laid in the spiritual realm, and soon it will have no choice but to manifest in the physical. Disclaimer: please remember that tarot is a tool for spiritual guidance, introspection, and entertainment. Energy is always fluid, and you hold the ultimate power of free will over your own beautiful life and choices. Never substitute a tarot reading for professional, medical, or legal advice. Thank you so much for sharing your sacred energy with me today. If this message resonated with your soul, please hit that like button, leave a comment down below to claim this powerful energy, and subscribe to the channel so our paths can cross again. Sending you so much love, light, and infinite blessings until next time.